Hey YouTube, another What's in the Box. I went back onto Temu since I was enjoying buying stuff off them the last couple of months. It's been a while. They didn't really have anything that was after. It's like looking through the guitar parts. They don't have a massive selection of guitar parts. Last time I was on, I bought all the things that you think they'll be really handy. Like output jack sockets and stuff like that. Stuff for £1 and £2, but stuff that's dead useful. And I started looking through it again, and I think maybe what I'm going to be doing more now in Temu is looking up and seeing what pickups they've got on special offer. Because I got some good Hot Rails and those zebra coil things. So this is an interesting packet. Those zebra coiled Invader clones were brilliant. They were only £6 a pair, and fantastic upgrades to most guitars, sort of thing. I haven't tried the Hot Rails yet, but I've got them. They're red. They're only a £5. So just kind of looking up those things. But so this is actually just two boxes stuck together. They're both the same. You guess what it is yet? So when I was looking through this, although I got it from Temu, it's not. It's like a local market thing. So it's obviously in the UK somewhere. So the free postage thing doesn't apply in the same thing. It's like an extra thing. So what we have here is a Telecaster. I'd say it's 1, 2, 3 pieces of something, a few wee chips and stuff, not exactly, quite roughly routed, but it's made of wood. Maybe some of it's not the neatest job I've ever seen, but I rate these. So I got two of them. I wonder what the other one's like. Are they both exactly the same, I suppose? Carol, Lightship House, Freeland Park, Pool, manufacturer Shenzhen. Oh, there you go, so I've been there. Futian district. I don't remember which district it was I was in. I know there was different districts, but can't remember. It was definitely Shenzhen. But I mean, these things, as I said, I've been to Shenzhen. The way these things are made, it's possible. It's just like above, like a unit on a main street. The way the shops in China are is kind of mad. We generally tend to have you go to a bit and it's like, oh, this is the sort of industrial area where you've got places that replace tyres on cars and fix motorbikes and stuff. And then you would maybe go a few streets over there and you'd get to a bit that was like, there's like sort of restaurants and stuff. Whereas the China, it's just bum, bum, bum. Fancy looking restaurant, tiny looking greasy spoon type noodle bar, wedding dress shop, pet shop, and then like a factory that's printing out banners, and then all like on the same street. So there's probably one that's just churning out jellies. This one's actually a little bit nicer. This one's not as many pieces, I don't think. 1, 2. There you go. Whatever it's made of, this is a 2-piece body. One junction there. So the whole body's in one bit. So these are very light. But I had actually built a couple of them up before. Jen got a pile of guitar parts from a guy in. I wouldn't have said those. I mean, there's still some work to be done. Just look at where the screw holes are in that neck pocket. It's like, I'd probably want the bolts to be like kind of square. Is the other one the same? Pretty much. So, I've noticed because I've built. In fact, there's one here. I've not actually built it. I think this was exactly the same thing. So obviously Jen's painting them up to look like this. I'd love to. But they turn out to be fantastic guitars. I built a couple of them, and as I said, it is just one of those things. Actually, the neck, the screw holes for the neck are straight in this one. It's not just a case if you're buying like Warmoth parts to build your guitar, so you're paying 150 quid for the body and £200 for the neck and all that. They probably do fit together like Lego if you spend £1,000 on the bits. But if you're talking about buying cheaper stuff, or trying to make them yourself, it's like there is an awful lot to it. It's not just a case of putting it on and drilling holes. You have to make sure everything lines up, and you have to move stuff about. And I'll probably have to do a wee bit of rerouting to get the pickups in. And but I do love the wee Telecasters. My thought about what to do with a couple of these. I'm going to make Bucky casters. My pal wanted me to paint his Gibson Les Paul last year about this time, and he had a 50s tribute Les Paul that was just sort of gloss black. It really looked shit. It was a really bad paint job. It was a really good guitar, but it was just the paint was awful. So he was going to get his pal who spray paints cars, does it works in a car body shop thing, and he was going to paint it for him, and the guy shat it, and then my pal phoned me and was like, could you paint a Les Paul for me? And it was like, I couldn't. The amount of time it would take me to try and paint it, especially if it's for somebody else, so I can't mess it up. It's got to be good. It's going to take days, so it's got to be a couple of £100, and it might not look, it might look shit. So it's like I'm really worried about it. So actually, I ended up just buying the Les Paul off him, and he gave me the paint that he was going to try and paint it with, which is a sort of green nitro. So I think I might try and paint one of these with that green nitro and see how it turns out. And if it works on this, I could maybe do the Les Paul. I mean, it's very. I mean, it's like so. Price. These are things I've been kind of watching them on and off. So these come from is it Dorset or Poole or something like that, whatever it was. There's a warehouse it's just got telly and strap bodies. Just buy the telly bodies. But my thinking is, like, see, you get quite a lot of these sort of boring Stratocastery things. You know, the MDF for the plywood body, blah blah, and it's like suddenly you pay. You just buy this and you put the Strat neck on it. You can maybe reshape it and just build something a bit interesting. And it's a telly, and tellies always look cool. Really, regards to what you do. And to be honest, just putting parts on that is just going to look awesome. And the tone is in the wood. There also might be something to be said for not having a finish on it at all. But I don't know. I do think that they seem to work out really well with the Jen painting them like that. Oh, I need to show you these as well. Look at this is a bit of a breakthrough, and probably not the right light for it. But now that one looks like look at the reflection on it. The possibility of actually making them look like sort of factory finished guitars is now might be a thing. So the prices might be going woo. I would think if they get to look like that. And it's one of those ones where it's like, I mean, see if you could get that Les Paul I've got to look like that with that on it. Be worth a couple of grand, wouldn't it? I've just got a couple of these to build up. This one's coming up soon as well. The neck had been over tightened last week when I was playing it, and it was like the strings were sitting flat on the fingerboard, and I undid it, and it was like, I didn't think it's doing something, and then I left it a week, and I went look at it, and now we've got slightly too much relief, which is great because it was definitely not enough. It was definitely bent back, so now I've just been able to stick this one back together again. These are called Shattercasters. This isn't one of those Temu bodies. This I can't remember what it was. I remember it being red. This is an old, like a vintage 30-year-old 90s guitar or 80s. Yep. So yeah, so I've got a couple of necks kicking about that kind of don't fit anything. I've got a BC Rich Warlock neck that one of my pals, the butcher from Kilsyth, he's not an actual butcher, he's a guitar butcher. Kind of modified this BC Rich neck that I've never really found anything to put it on. A BC Rich Warlock neck on one of these. I've also got a yellow or a Bucky yellow telly scratch plate, not painted, and I've got the red telly pickup. So definitely a fancy hand built Bucky caster. Yeah, so I was talking about price about these. So as I said, these don't fit in with the rest of the Temu stuff. So I never actually got anything from Temu. These come from England somewhere, and they're always on special offer. The cheapest they are, they go up and down by like £3 and a fiver. That's it, sort of thing. So what it works in is if you spend £35 on the in this shop, as in, then it's free postage. If it's not, it's a fiver postage. So I've been looking at them, and they keep putting the prices up at very specific things. The prices seem to be 21 quid, and then sometimes they're £16 something, and you go, oh, they're £16, I'll do that, but then you've got a fiver delivery on it. So if you buy two, that puts you up to £32, and then you've got a fiver delivery. Whereas this one, they came up and they were £17.62 or something like that, which meant if you bought two of them, you got the free postage. So they worked out at £17.62 each, for a telly body. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what I'm going to make some of. I mean, if depends how much. I've stuck a couple of them together before. They're kind of quite easy, and as I said, you will need to route them to make them fit whatever it is you're trying to put in, because nothing will be in exactly the right places. Definitely, I've got to bung up those holes and move the neck plate over, so it's actually not going into the side of the neck. You kind of just wish they'd not bothered drilling the holes at all. But it's quite mad. I'm also going to get away with no scratch plate on one of them as well. Even the picture has the channel. In fact, it's in that one there. That channel that's normally on a Telecaster. In the picture on Temu, it does have that channel, but it doesn't on this. So it doesn't even need a scratch plate. And they do sell. In fact, Jen, actually, I've got one to put in that guitar. I'm going to build that one up this afternoon. Like a metal pickup ring just for a Telecaster neck pickup, which I remember looking for about 6 months ago, and the only ones I could find were 15 quid, and they were from America, plus 15 quid plus postage, and then they've got them in Temu and they're like 3 quid or something like that. I just mean you would have a wee bit, like a chrome single coil pickup ring. Might be quite good. Don't know. Depends how the staining goes. The thing is, if I use that paint and it goes a bit crazy, then I'll just paint it again. And then eventually I'll just get Bucky green paint and just... I mean, I think it'll probably absorb into it quite a lot. It is a bit... It's not particularly smooth sanded, but what it needs to be. You know what I mean? Yes. So there could be some fun to be had with Telecaster. If you've got a guitar, I don't know, a good neck. I've actually got that the Encore Vintage series Telecaster. I've tried to follow it off my pal Craig. I assume he's not bought it. I was thinking I could nab all the bits and put them on one of these, because the only thing wrong with that guitar was, apart from it being called an Encore, which I was happy with anyway, it really, really, really heavy body. This, nothing, weighs very little. There's no point in weighing it, because you don't know how much it's going to weigh by the time it's got all a neck and pickups and tuners and strings and metal bits on it and stuff like that. It won't be pure insanely light. Rock on.